against Fulton.
I saw a Fulton bus here.
Tennis is at Kirksville.
Oh, at Kirksville. It's a fun ride.
Yeah, we might need to have a recommendation on facilities, community use during events. Last night during the senior night at tennis, we had community members that were using the tennis courts. And so balls are banging while they're playing. And then during the senior event where they were talking about the seniors, they were over there having their own tennis game.
Oh, somebody probably should have just walked over and asked them not to be there.
Well, that was not my place to do that. It was not, and so I don't know if it just
If
needs
I'd
to
have been
be
there,
a.
I'd have taken it as my place.
We are live.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So I don't know if it would be a policy.
Susan would have moved them.
She was there.
You guys ready to
Let's
start?
call us, yes, ma'am.
She's not
Call
charged
this
now,
meeting to
though.
order. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, folks, we've got, let's see, we should have an approval of the agenda.
Do we want to approve the minutes from the previous meeting or wait till next
No, we'll do
meeting?
next
Let me
regular
next
meeting.
meeting.
But there are a couple of changes to this agenda. One is that we no longer need to meet in closed session. So actions or records relating to students, that issue has been resolved by our trustee administrators, so we can strike that. And then, do we want to add the Spainhauer update? A request?
I requested that we add a Spainhauer update to the open session tonight, just so we know where we're at. We're
We
getting
were
some.
already talking about it.
Well, there we go.
Okay, good.
So then let's add that as item number 4, to replace the adjournment to closed session.
Dr. Meyer,
Yes.
we were going to listen to another parent in closed session,
Oh.
I believe, this evening.
Mhm. Yes,
I'm
yes.
not- He is not here.
Can
That
we-
was in the email.
Mhm.
I don't know,
Mhm.
do we need to
Oh,
do
I
them
thought
in
both
closed
things
session
got
for that?
resolved.
He does not have a medical use.
Oh.
Because his was in general. I don't think we'd have to go to closed session.
Well, if it pertains to a particular
it's
student, we
before,
will.
so.
All right, yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta find
Yeah. Well, then we'll wait before we approve this agenda, just to make sure that he's around.
I have his number.
I move that we,
Oh, okay,
that we,
okay. I thought you were returning. I thought you were
approve the
checking
agenda
those
with the
things.
addition of closed session
I
as
think I
needed.
told him to come to the back.
There you
Sounds
go.
good.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the Spainhauer update and the adjournment to closed session as needed. So we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Okay, with that, let's move on to the approval of the conflict of interest ordinance.
Isn't supposed to be on for closed.
Oh, we won't move to close just yet.
Oh.
Yeah, and then when we do move to closed, we will say goodbye to all of you nice folks who are watching. I have a copy of the ordinance here in front of me.
Please.
Dr. Mayer, is there anything you wanted to say about it before I kind of?
So, it's it's a blanket ordinance that, if the board adopts it, then we don't have to, or you don't have to, send any of your documentation, personal documentation to the Ethics Commission.
So this is, to my understanding, this is part of what happened with the, and this is what Dr. Mayer had reminded me of. This is all pursuant to the law that was passed by proposition several months ago. What was it? It was sort of like well, anyway, doesn't matter. I will read this ordinance. An ordinance of Marshall Public Schools of Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interests for certain officials. Be resolved by the Board of Education of Marshall Public Schools of Marshall, Missouri as follows. So section 1 is a declaration of policy. The proper operation of government requires that public officials and employees be independent, impartial, and responsible to the people, that government decisions and policy be made in the proper channels of the governmental structure, that public office not be used for personal gain, and that the public have confidence in the integrity of its government. In recognition of these goals, there is hereby established a procedure for disclosure by certain officials and employees of private, financial, or other interests in matters affecting political subdivision. Section 2, conflicts of interest. All elected and appointed officials, as well as employees of a political subdivision, such as a school district, must comply with the conflict of interest statutes under Chapter 105 of the Missouri Revised Statutes, as well as any other state law governing official conduct. Any member of the governing body of a political subdivision who has a substantial personal or private interest in any measure, bill, order, or ordinance proposed or pending before such governing body must disclose that interest to the secretary or clerk of such body and such disclosure shall be recorded in the appropriate journal of the governing body, such as our minutes. Substantial personal or private interest is defined as ownership by the individual, his spouse, his dependent children, whether singularly or collectively, directly or indirectly, of 10% or more of any business entity, an interest having a value of $10,000 or more, or the receipt of a salary, gratuity, or other compensation or remuneration of $5,000 or more per year from any individual, partnership, organization, or association in any calendar year. This should sound pretty familiar.
I was gonna say,
Right.
we did have one of those.
Point of
Yeah.
information,
Uh-huh.
Please.
for those out there, we did have, all board members had a written copy of this to read before Aaron presented it to us here, so it's not like we're seeing it for the first time.
All right, yeah. So, assuming that all of you guys had the chance to read it, it should, for anybody watching at home, this is something that is standard for us in terms of ethical reporting. Individual board members consistently, so annually, have to file a conflict of interest statement. So this is the establishment of a procedure to disclose that. And it sounds like it's something that we will be doing every year, right, Dr. Mayor, from now
Yes.
on? Yeah. So, we need a motion
So
to,
Second,
Okay.
that we adopt?
any further discussion? There are 4 sections, if anybody had any questions about any of them.
No.
Call question?
Okay. Actually, excuse me, there are 6 sections.
Call question?
Question. Do we have a second?
Yes, I
Right.
second.
Ah, you
Yes,
second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I'll just sign it right now. So next up, we had a few questions. I keep fielding questions about Spainhauer. So I know Dr. Lawrence is not here tonight, but perhaps there are a few questions we want to throw out and then request maybe some follow-up from him, and/or discussion. So I open the floor.
Well, I want to let people know, I personally went out Spainhauer Friday after work. Dr. T took me around. That building is awesome. From the outside, what I saw, I mean, they're working, doing what they can. I mean, the parking lot still needs to get did yet, and they were getting ready to do the sidewalk, but that building is so deceiving. From the outside, you know, it looks like, oh, it's not that big, but you walk in, my goodness, I mean, it looked like it goes a long, long ways down the hallway. I walked through every room. We need to, and I talked to these people earlier, we need to have an open house when we can. Have the community come see what their money was spent on. It's awesome. And I also looked at the HVAC on the roof. It's a monster. I mean, it's nice. I'm pretty well, I think the community would be very satisfied with that building. I was so impressed, so.
I don't disagree. I think it's a magnificent building when it's finished and we can educate kids in it. Are we educating kids in it on Tuesday? Is that, what day do they start school there? Tuesday.
The
So
first grade are already there.
we already have kids on the other end, on the Spainhauer.
Parents there on Tuesday.
And then, okay, and we
That's
have
correct.
teachers who have not been able to get in their room yet. This is Thursday. They cannot get in their room over this weekend. It is a 3-day weekend. They're gonna do the halls on Saturday, and their rooms are stacked full of boxes. So we're giving them 1 day, tomorrow, to get their room set up for classroom, be ready to go on Tuesday. It's not fair, it's disrespectful, and I'm concerned. I would have brought these concerns before, but I literally have just gotten them in the last hour. 3 pictures from teachers that are very, very upset and at a break, like, how do I fix it? I don't know what we do. And so I'd like to have an update, like when will those floors be done? And how can we help them? Because the teachers are gonna need our help. I've been in, Southeast Benton and, Eastwood in the last 2 weeks. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Those teachers have worked their heinies off from the last time I was in there. Those buildings the classrooms look great. There are still some issues, structural, some maintenance things that they look great. To get a classroom to look like that, I've never built a classroom. I can't imagine the time and the energy and the thought and the effort. These teachers have so much to do in those classrooms in I don't know how many days. Well, what are we gonna do?
So-
We can't take kids in there with boxes sitting everywhere. They can't get in there all weekend. What do we do?
So there might be it sounds like there might be a question that's there for maybe Dr. Lorenz and the principal, right, to see like
What's the plan?
They're working on the floors this weekend. Sounds like that has been presented, that obviously Dr. Lorenz has asked them to take their holiday weekend and work to get the floors ready, so some of those custodians, if they volunteer to work it, some of them are going to do it for the kids, and some of them probably want to have that time off. They've been working their tails off too.
Is that per our policy?
For holiday pay, too, also.
So they would be getting paid
Yes.
Oh,
holiday
absolutely.
rates?
Yes.
Oh, okay, the
Double.
volunteer.
No, they're volunteering to
volunteer.
choose
They're-
because they've
yeah.
been asked to,
Yes.
and
I think we need to clarify that communication. I think there's some question about the communication there.
I misunderstood it.
no,
no,
them
that's what was
volunteering
reported
their
to
time
me.
to come in, and they would get paid for it, obviously, for their time. Now, with that being said, I'd like to take a look at our comp sheets too, to see where our employees are. My understanding is that's going on a lot around here, and we need to see who's got that. Are they getting paid? Are they able to use it? That kind of thing. So while we're on the table, let's make sure that our employees are taken care of. So they are going to finish the floors as far as that goes. Now, I don't know. I went in there after I sent an email to Dr. Lorenz earlier this week, and the whole entryway isn't done. There isn't any flooring whatsoever. There's no tile. There was lots of crews there, though. I will say, in 2 weeks from the last time we were there, it has come a long way, but we're not done. There's a few things down the halls, and I've got pictures of those things. So I'd be interested to see where we're going to be Tuesday.
I know from the time I was in there last week to the time I was in there yesterday, there has been a lot of progress. Like you
Yes.
said, there was a lot of man
Nope, I don't think
hours and a
anybody's
lot of
denying
things going on.
that. Just
Right, it's just if we're going to be ready.
Right.
I know that also with the custodians being out for a little bit of a time, that also, I believe, slowed down some of the waxing and stuff, because last time that was supposed to be starting a little bit earlier, but all the floor wasn't in every area
I was
as
gonna
well.
say, I
But
don't
you
know
could
that they
do
were ready for 'em.
most of the flooring as well, but you could have done certain areas. So hopefully that will be there, and we'd like to have an update. The other thing that if you all heard us talking, maybe at the very beginning of the meeting, we were discussing maybe taking some photos, getting some things out. So we're going to task hopefully Dr. T with getting some pictures on the website, just like we did with the progression, to kind of be able to show people in the community that aren't going to be able to access the building until it's safe enough for it to have a true open house or to allow the community to walk through. The plan was always to get the community
Yeah.
in before we had a pandemic.
Ellen, I got a
So-
question. Are these teachers' concerns for safety or inconvenience?
I think it's just, I think the word that they're using is fair.
I think that we also need to make sure we redirect them back to their building
For
supervisors.
sure, and that's
their
what I did.
training
I
as
just
well.
said, what are you being told? Will you have help? Are you being told you will have help?
Yeah,
We're all gonna work together on this. I'm sorry it isn't fair. I hope we can make it work. Like, I don't know what else to say to
No,
them.
I
Go
can-
back. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knows what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
It's just, I think this particular one with the pictures is just not fair. Like, I don't know if you're tasking me with a task that I can truly finish and be prepared for. And I think that's fair. I mean,
And I think that also going to your administrator and asking for the extra help that you need.
Right.
I mean, if we're going to be,
do we have it?
I mean,
What
we're,
did she say when you
I
asked her?
haven't, I got another picture of another room.
No, when you asked her about what her principal said. what
I didn't ask her that. I just asked her if she'd gone back and gotten word from her principal. And
So what did the principal say to her?
she did not tell me that. And I just said, we'll be working on this and working together. And then I got another picture and it said, I hate to complain, but
So we
So
do-
I don't know,
we
I don't
do-
know, Dr. Mayor. I don't know I don't know what the superintendent said. I can just look at the pictures and know, and surely as an educator,
Principal said, yeah. You
I
said
didn't hear what you said.
You mean what the principal said?
You said.
I don't know what she said. I don't know what the principal said to her. All I know is what the pictures show right now today. And I have never been an educator, and I know that this is a stressful time for them.
We do want to encourage, we do want to encourage teachers to be in communication with their building level administrators
Yes.
about any concerns they might have regarding, well, frankly, anything. And as board members, we will consistently ask them, what has your building principal said? We will ask them, please go back to the building principal and have that conversation with them, because that's the proper chain of command. So we encourage anybody who's at Spainhauer who shares these concerns, please speak with your administrator. And, thank you for bringing concerns.
Oh, I'm sure Renee knows too. I guess one of my questions is, do we have a lineup of people ready to work on Monday? Because these teachers are gonna need our help on Monday.
And
Who's
that's a holiday
working?
too.
I am certain we do.
And I think we need to know who those people are and have them ready to go.
I think that we need to make sure that these people, first thing in the morning, any concerns that you have in the district, because we're gonna end a long weekend, that you talk to your building level people,
Yeah.
and then we find out about the bodies. We're gonna have to pay some money. We know this is kind of a last minute crunch that's going on right here, and we're gonna have to foot some of those bills in it.
I just
Not
don't think we
because
can
of
make
the
it comp
building, but
time.
everywhere.
I don't think we can make it comp time. We need to make clear that these people need to be paid to do this work.
Well, the policy says comp time, unless that is waived by the board and it'd be on an individual basis.
Are we allowing them to use their comp time?
The
Custodians.
custodians?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
But however, they will have double comp time this weekend because it's holiday pay.
Mhm.
I can understand the frustration. It takes time to set a classroom up.
I really don't know.
And that first day of class can make or break a class, or at least, I've never taught elementary,
Sure,
but
absolutely, we
but
understand.
I know at even my level, that first day of class can make or break a class. And if you're working kids around with boxes and stacks and things like that, I can understand the frustration, especially when we already had people here talking about some of the others. We're talking about how the other schools look so good.
Their
So I
classrooms
can
look
understand, I
awesome.
can understand those teachers' frustrations, but
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Renee, but from what I understand, and I will talk to her, but from what I understand, the waxing crews will be finished, a half-day on Saturday, is what I've been told.
And so you have Sunday and Monday a holiday. But they can't be on it. I don't think they can be on it Sunday.
Yeah, so the last I heard, because I've heard a couple different things, yesterday that they were going to have all the custodians work a half a day and do this for the next few days, which was today and tomorrow. And then that was before they were working the weekend. Now a few of them may work the weekend, which would be Saturday and Sunday that they would work. That was the last I heard, so I don't know where so obviously Sunday probably half a day, but there again, that has to dry, it has to sit so many hours, and we can't have people, if they do, I don't even know, if they are, waxing tomorrow and somebody walks on it, now we've messed up the wax and have to strip it, and do we have a stripper over there to redo that?
I'll just have to talk to Renee.
do we have do we have an alternative?
Well, it sounds like what we need is.
We just need an update.
We just need an update.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do have one question though concerning pay and the weekend. So holiday pay would typically be your holiday if somebody's working on the holiday. So are we paying holiday pay for Saturday and Sunday and Monday, or is it just considered Monday? I mean, how many
Well,
holidays do we get for the weekend?
The holiday would be only on Monday, but I had planned on paying holiday pay through the weekend.
Question two. When everybody was talking, this just flashed my mind. Like all these other elementary teachers that don't work there, can they volunteer and get comp time to maybe come help their
They've had a
coworkers?
lot of people, they've been in a lot of communication with a lot of people.
Well, we're supposed to be one big family. I mean, if you got one part of it needs help, yeah, I understand it's the weekend, but still,
I think that's
the
what.
part of the family, that's how I
It
think.
sounds like there's options, and what we just need is an update as a board, and we have concerns about being ready to educate our youngest students in the district.
And Dr.
come
Rose
next
had no
week.
idea that
So-
a update was needed.
Oh, no,
Sure.
no,
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
this was supposed to be a meeting
We're getting
about
close, yeah.
other
We
things.
just- yeah.
We just had
So-
questions.
I'm surprised I'm surprised we're this close from what I saw earlier, so
Yeah.
I'm happy there.
Well,
but
and I'm
sorry our
also
teachers-
concerned that tonight, the high school custodians are at Spainhauer, so the high school's not getting sanitized tonight. And so that'll have to be sanitized between 3 and 4 in the morning to be ready for 8 o'clock class. So we have overtime, coming there first thing in the morning. So we just need to,
We're gonna have-
I just want to make sure that we're really using resources right, because we've got to be tight on budget. It's
Well,
got to be.
At the end of the day, those people who are putting in the time, we need to appreciate them and thank them, those custodians, everybody that is helping. I know it's a lot of work, they're doing extra time, but it is for the benefit of the kids, and that is appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, sure is.
Okay. So do we have any closed session? Did our closed session participants show up?
Do you want me to call him?
Sure.
I do have his number.
Okay.
I would ask that you may call him in a different area.
It's like, we're on camera.
And the microphone, so just.
Okay.
So if you
Just
call
go
in,
in
just
the other
maybe
room.
step outside or in the
Yeah.
hallway to
Yeah.
finish that.
You can come over here behind this door here, Gary, if you like.
Yeah, I can see if he's coming or not coming. Oh, I gotta take my candy.
Ow.
Old men move slow.
That's all right.
Better to, make the time if you can't use it or not.
Unless he's outside there too.
Did you guys want this?
Oh, yes, I did want to look over that.
It was Sean Collier, right?
We can read at the same time.
Yeah, reading at the same time.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I was trying to